Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Movie and F1 Hub, and today we're going to review the Miami Grand Prix weekend. The Grand Prix where we all know Red Bull are going to win. I mean, it's like that all 24 races of the year, so what do you expect? So let's kickstart with free practice. And there's Charles Leclerc, he's spun off. With Charles Leclerc getting serious PTSD from 2023, let's move on, as absolutely nothing else happened in the rest of free practice. Max Verstappen topped the session ahead of Oscar Piastri and Carlos Sainz. Great, so this is going to be exciting, isn't it? Come sprint qualifying and nothing exactly happened. There was nothing particularly memorable to talk about, apart from the drivers who was out. And for the first time since the dinosaurs were here, Logan Sargeant out-qualified Alexander Albon. So, can't wait to see him finish ahead of him in the race. Also out was Pierre Gasly, Zhou Guanyu and Valtteri Bottas. So, that's that. Heading into Q2, the drivers in trouble were the two Mercedes, with George Russell and Lewis Hamilton both out in Q2. Looks like I'm going to need an update on that every Lewis Hamilton Grand Effect Q2 exit. If you haven't already seen it, you can go and watch it out in my channel below. However, I do warn you, the quality on it isn't that good. After all, I've only really started getting this good quality since about that F1 24 video I've done. And please watch that if you haven't seen that as well, because it tells everything you need to know about the F1 24 video game. So yeah, both Mercedes were out, and that was extremely good for Mercedes, right? Nah, it's a joke. Anyway, Ocon, Magnussen and Tsunoda were also both out in Q2, so we headed to Q3, and there wasn't, because Max Verstappen took pole position with Sergio Perez third, and Charles Leclerc second, so we're getting basically the exact same thing from the start of the year then. The big shock was the man in fourth though, and it was Daniel Ricciardo. Finally stopped being rubbish and now finally acting as if it's Daniel Ricciardo. Carlos Sainz was fifth with Oscar Piastri sixth. But an even bigger shock was the man in seventh. It was Lance Stroll. And he was ahead of Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris ninth and Hülkenberg 10th. So let's get on to the sprint. And Charles Leclerc actually got a decent launch off the line, and he tried to get ahead of Max Verstappen. But we got a replay of the most exciting moment of the US sprint last year, with Max Verstappen cutting off Charles Leclerc. Whilst that happened, all hell unfolded behind. 4 wide happened into turn 1, and it was just a replay of Bahrain 2023, because the Aston Martins collided, and Lando Norris was out. So another pole position gone, and another race win thrown away. Right, what else happened? So the safety car was deployed and penalties started coming out. Mainly Kevin Magnussen, as Kevin Magnussen replayed 2023 Miami. Have you noticed how 2024 and 2023 are the exact same season yet? If you haven't, well, you'll remember Kevin Magnussen and Charles Leclerc had an epic fight last year, and this time it was Lewis Hamilton who was on the receiving end, unable to get by, and Yuki Tsunoda saying I'll take a point. In the end, Magnussen was passed, but it didn't matter anyway, because Lewis Hamilton had a 20-second penalty, as did Kevin Magnussen. Continued to play annihilate the F1 grid and smash into everyone. That didn't yield any points though, except it did help his teammate, I suppose, get 7th. Kevin Magnussen finished 17th. It looks like Kevin Magnussen will be in F1 next year. Anyway, Max Verstappen came across the line to win with Charles Leclerc second, Sergio Perez third, Ricciardo, Sainz, Piastri, Hülkenberg, Tsunoda, Gasly and Logan Sargeant in the top 10. Wow, Miami really is delivering. If Logan Sargeant's in the top 10, the rest of the grid was Zhou Guanyu, George Russell 12th, Albon 13th, 14th Valtteri Bottas, 15th Esteban Ocon, 16th Hamilton, 17th Magnussen, and then retirements were Lance Stroll and Lando Norris. So, let's head into Grand Prix qualifying then. It can't get any better, can it? So straight out the ball in Q1, Valtteri Bottas was out, narrowly missing out and knocking out Fernando Alonso. Well, it didn't matter anyway, because he would line 15th regardless. 17th was Logan Sargeant, and Daniel Ricciardo made everyone remember how bad he is. 18th on the grid and 20th thanks to that penalty. Great, looks like Ricciardo won't be staying in F1 any longer then. Kevin Magnussen was 19th, unable to get any pace despite smashing into half the entire grid, and Zhou Guanyu last. So, with that done, let's get into Q2. And Lewis Hamilton was in trouble, and if you haven't seen my predictions video, you know I predicted Lewis Hamilton was going to be out in Q2. Thankfully, he actually made it. So Max Verstappen went into Q3, took pole position from Charles Leclerc. So let's move on to the race, and Sergio Perez repeated Mexico 2023 and tried to crash out Max Verstappen. Sadly, it didn't work. but he fell down the order as a result. To make this race exciting and moved up to second place. Oh yes, what else did I forget? On the opening lap, the two Alpines went wheel to wheel. Know what's about to happen when those two went wheel to wheel, except they didn't make contact and there was no safety car. Meanwhile, further back in the pack, Lewis Hamilton got past Nico Hülkenberg and it's time for the first round of pit stops, with Oscar Piastri now in the lead, with Max Verstappen not in the lead. So, let's have a little look at Logan Sargent, yet to crash in a race this year so far. Let's change that and smash into Kevin Magnussen and take us out of the race and bring the safety car out. Then what do? FIA, you get the safety car and you put it ahead of the man who was in second. However, the safety car was clearly so used to Max Verstappen being in the lead, it went out in front of Verstappen, who was actually in second. So they had to wait around and let Lando Norris get the lead. So, with fresher tyres, we dared to hope that Lando Norris could win the race. And with previous attempts not going very well, for example, Chinese 2024 sprint, the dreaded Russian 2021 Grand Prix, the 2023 British Grand Prix, and many, many more that we do not have time to go into. So the safety car was out and it was a poor restart. The safety car went in, should I say, and Lando Norris messed up the start and Max Verstappen was about to take the lead. But Lando Norris held on and escaped DRS, and all of a sudden we started dreaming. And when Max Verstappen couldn't close in, we were far more concerned over the battle between Carlos Sainz and Oscar Piastri. In my opinion, Oscar Piastri should have got a penalty, except he didn't, and the contact between Sainz and Piastri put Piastri into the pits. And that went no points for Oscar Piastri, but meanwhile it was going to be maximum points for Lando Norris, unless Max Verstappen could somehow close in on the 10 laps to go. Meanwhile, let's look at where Lewis Hamilton is. Oh, never mind, he's fighting Sergio Perez. With 2023 out the way, Lewis Hamilton gets ahead of Sergio Perez, something he failed to do in that 2023 campaign. Hamilton asked for more power, and he got it, and that battle continued. Meanwhile, George Russell was having a hard time getting past an RB. Looks like the Mercedes really are in midfield. Meanwhile, Lando Norris finally learnt not to throw away victories, and all of a sudden, the Miami Grand Prix became the most exciting race of the season, as the Papaya McLaren came home to win the race, with Verstappen and Leclerc completing the podium. In fairness though, this really was an exciting Grand Prix, and Miami finally delivered. So now next year I'm actually finally excited for my Miami Grand Prix. A sentence I didn't think I would ever say. So with Miami having delivered, I'll see you next time for some more videos on moving F1 Hub, and if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Goodbye.